Well, today we're going to identify what crystals look like. We have a couple of examples. Here's a crystal in its case. There's leads coming out of it. Same thing for this guy over here. Here's a smaller one, and this is what it looks like on the inside. I've got a better photo coming, but that white part up here is the crystal itself. This silver part is the electrical connection, and it goes to that wire and goes down to this terminal here. Same thing for the other side. Here we have a quartz crystal, this clear-ish thing. This crystal's been tuned. They shaved off just enough of that to make it the right frequency, whatever that happened to have been. This is the silver coating that they use to make the electrical connection. Same thing on the other side. These terminals have been spot welded onto or these connections have been spot welded. The leads come out the bottom there. Evidently, the casing the case that covered this was soldered because you can see this melted solder along here. Someone opened it up just to get a look inside. Oh, by the way, um, that was a gas tight, or you might call an airtight seal. They manufacture these in a nitrogen atmosphere to push out all the oxygen, so this will never oxidize or change frequency over time. Here's a variety of crystals and crystal oscillators. We'll identify each one of them here. These are crystal oscillators. They have more than two leads on them. There's another lead underneath here you can't see. This is a crystal oscillator. This one's his cousin turned upside down. Same for that. That's a crystal oscillator. This one, four leads on it. Same story, crystal oscillator. These two little guys are just crystals. There's only two leads, just like this one has two leads, that one has two leads, and that one has two leads. These guys have all kinds of opportunity to put parts on the bottom of it. This one's a crystal oscillator, obviously, because it's got more than two leads on it coming out. There's four. That's a little hook that you can tie things down on the board. Here it is sitting right side up. There's another pair of crystal oscillators. Here's some more crystal oscillators. They're all surface mount, and the solder is going to get in these little gaps here and these little facets. Get soldered down with paste solder and a little bit of hot air. Here's another crystal oscillator. Let's get a close-up of this. That marker, that little dot means pin 1. Pin 1 is right here. Pin 1 is also marked by this flattened off corner edge right here. These are all rounded off. That edge back there is rounded off. There's pin 1 over here because that's the square part. There's the rounded edges around the casing. Let me guess, which component is the crystal? Yep, it's this guy right here. Not only that, they've taken the time to write the crystal frequency on the board itself. 32.768 kilohertz. The reason they put this little piece of wire over the top and soldered it down is to keep this crystal from moving around and possibly getting broken. Now here's another circuit board. This is the inside guts of a watch. There's the battery that provides the power. There's the IC that takes the power in, uses the frequency from this crystal, and drives the gears with this stationary motor. This little guy is a variable capacitor like we've seen in other videos. what it's doing is it's taking part in adjusting the frequency of this crystal. See this connection here goes to that capacitor, goes into the chip. Well, the other end of this goes to ground. That's one of the screws that holds the circuit board in place inside the watch body. That's another screw that holds it down. These screws hold the motor down and most likely go back down into the casing as well. That holds the positive terminal of of the, uh, the watch battery down. And that is our brief description of what crystals look like.